Hi, this is Jeff Paul with today's video post. You know, I saw a show the other day that was really interesting. It was about the city of Pompeii that was buried in an earthquake back in the year 79 AD. And just recently they've been uncovering and digging through Pompeii, and they found that the #1 industry in Pompeii, and the thing that was all over everywhere, was the sale of sex. Prostitution seems to be the biggest industry in Pompeii. The city literally was covered with pornographic art all over the place. They had 41 brothels they dug up so far, 153 bars and taverns, plus hotels, and all around the bars and the brothels and inside the bars and the brothels there were pornographic pictures of every description you can imagine. There was phalluses all over the town, and even in the center of town there was a gigantic brothel that was the biggest one actually ever in the ancient world. But what's interesting was back then in those days they also had pimps. They had low-price prostitutes that you get on the street in these little crummy like jail cell places where you go with them, or they have these big fancy places with very high-priced call girls where you could spend a lot of money and have a lot of time in the whole night. And they were all exactly like everything is today. The government of Rome back then really kind of tried to look the other way and not allow it to be totally legal, but they sort of let it happen. Whenever they tried to do something to stop it from happening, it never worked. And the real point of all this is that nothing has changed and nothing ever will change when it comes to human nature and human behavior. And if you want to get rich and you want to make a lot of money with your internet business, you have to understand that human nature and human psychology is always the same. It never changes. You can go back 2,000 years and see that the situation with prostitution and pimps and all that was exactly as the same as it is today. Nothing changes. The way human nature is the way human nature is. And you have two choices. You can make money by marketing into human nature and flowing with the way human nature really is, or you could struggle and maybe survive or maybe go broke trying to market to the way you would like human nature to be, or a way that you think it is portrayed on TV or in the church or something, but it's not the way it is. If you want to make money, market to the way human behavior and human psychology really is. If you want to go broke, market into, Father knows best, or Leave It to Beaver, or what you've learned from your church and religious organizations or the government, and that's how you can be sure to go broke. So the point of this post is human nature never changes. Follow it and you'll get rich. Thanks, and that's it for today's post.